Hello ladies and gentlemen, Stephen here from Redolescence and welcome back to another video. Thank you all very much for tuning in. And in this video, I am excited to talk to you guys about a company that I'm recently spending a lot of time with. And this is, I don't think it's an unfamiliar brand within the community, but it's called The Different Company. And I didn't really spend too much time with this brand. I remember a while ago, my good friend Raj, who also has a channel here on YouTube, he would talk about Cell Vetiver, and I heard about Aurora Namad and Oud Shamash, and I heard about a few of their offerings, but I never really had the opportunity to get into it. And I remember a couple of years ago, I bought one of their fragrances. It's called Oriental Lounge. I bought it by my friend Freddie, who was selling it at the time, and I fell in love with that fragrance. So I did want to recently discover The Different Company and see what else they have to offer. Not to mention that some of the perfumers that work for them are some of my favorites, like Bertrand Duchaufour, also Céline Elena, who is Jean-Claude Elena's daughter. All three of those perfumers have made fragrances for The Different Company. So I'm glad this was sent to me recently, and I'm really excited to basically talk to you guys about 20 of their fragrances. Now, this company has about 27 fragrances. You'll see there's like 20 bottles in here. They're all about, I think, 10 ml decants, maybe a little less, not decants, but official bottles from the company. And I'm really excited to talk to you guys about them. But of course, I can't get into too much detail on every single fragrance because then this video would end up being like an hour long. But I'm excited nonetheless to talk to you a little bit about each fragrance and then also tell you guys where you can buy them just in case you are interested in checking them out. And if there is interest in me reviewing a full-size bottle of any of these, I would be more than happy to. So just make sure you leave a comment down below and I'll certainly do a follow-up video. So The Different Company has been out since 2000. They've been out since the year 2000. Many call it Jean-Claude Elena's company, and of course he has made a lot of fragrances for this company. Also Céline Elena, who is his daughter, Bertrand Duchaufour, who is one of my favorites. He's done Jubilation 25 by Amouage, Enchanted Forest by the Vagabond Prince, Penhaligon Sartorial, the list goes on and on. He is one of my favorites for sure. And 27 fragrances in their collection according to Fragrantica. Some are marketed for men, some for women. A lot of them are unisex. I would say most of them are unisex. And this company has 3 collections. It's a French company. They have 3 collections, one with excessive in the name or excessive. The other one is called L'Esprit Cologne, and then they have the standard line. But their goal, or their mission as it were, has always been to create luxurious fragrances, and that they are. High quality ingredients, they smell superb, and I just want to very quickly run through these 20 fragrances. Now, I must have spent about a week and a half with them or so. So I'm going to go through this pretty quickly. So I do apologize if I don't spend a lot of time on a particular fragrance, but I want to run through them and recall what I remember about them from the best of my memory. So this one is called Sublime Balkis, and I remember this being a very sort of bright, mildly floral, maybe even a little bit fruity, but not overly so. But this was a very soft-spoken fragrance. And then we have Nuit Magnétique. This one, I believe, had a little bit of plum in it, plum, benzoin, and I think it was blackberry. Really nice fragrance. It's either this or I might be confusing it with another one, but it reminds me of Marc Jacobs' Decadence, which I think is one of the best releases this year. And then we have Tokyo Bloom, which is a really bright, fresh, grassy, vetiver kind of scent. It's almost comparable to Mugler Cologne by Thierry Mugler. Here is White Zagora. This is a lot of neroli. Neroli, maybe even orange blossom, very fresh interpretation of what would be like a cologne genre scent. And all of them by default are fresh, but this one is exquisitely done, very fresh. Here we have Cell Vetiver. So this is the, almost dropped there. This is the scent that I mentioned earlier. And Cell Vetiver is, it reminds me a lot of Veneta Bottega for women, right? So the original for women, and then they have like an eau légère version. This reminds me a lot of that. And as the name would imply, it has salt, it has vetiver, but it doesn't smell like a Healy, like Healy Selmaran or anything like that. Here is their Kashan Rose. Man, this one is a beautiful rose. It does veer a little feminine, so if that's not your thing, then I would recommend you stay away from it, but it's a very soft-spoken, smooth, elegant, tranquil sort of rose scent. Here we have Bergamot, and this one is fantastic. It's one of the most natural, one of the freshest, and one of the cleanest bergamot notes that I have ever smelled in a fragrance. And it's a very transparent, very linear sort of scent, but it gets the job done, and it's basically what the name implies. This one is called After Midnight, and this is a really good one too. It does veer a little feminine though, so it doesn't cater to my personal taste, a little floral, has some other fruity elements in there, maybe even blackcurrant. I don't remember entirely, but I know this one wasn't too memorable for me, but all in all, I think it would be a wonderful scent for a woman. All of these, by the way, I think are wonderful scents. Some I like more than others though, so I'm gonna make sure to mention which ones I like more than others. And if you know my style and my preferences, it's not gonna come as any surprise to you. This one is called I Miss Violet, and I get iris more than anything in here. This is Dior Homme on crack. It's a little bit sweeter than Dior Homme. It's kind of like an intermediary fragrance between Dior Homme and Dior Homme Intense, or perhaps even Dior Homme Parfum. It's sweet, it's soft, it's floral, it has violet, but it has a lot of iris in here too, from what I'm able to smell. Superb fragrance. I've actually worn that about 2 or 3 times since I acquired this. Here we have South Bay, which is yet another fresh scent. This one is a little creamy, and for me, it's comparable to Allure Homme Edition Blanche by Chanel. Kind of has that lemony nuance to it, but it still smells soft, creamy, sweet, maybe even like a little tonka bean-esque. Here we have Le Monde de Cordoza, and I can't pick between bergamot and this. Both of them are incredibly fresh, incredibly natural, realistic interpretation of lemon. Here we have Pure EVE. This one has one of my favorite notes of all time, which is the note of heliotrope. I don't think heliotrope is listed as a note. Almond is ranked the most dominant note on Fragrantica, but I get a lot of heliotrope. It has that sweetness to it. It does become a little floral though, which turns me off a little bit, but in the opening, man, that fragrance, that smell is to die for. Here we have Un Parfum de Saint et Bois, and this one is a spicy, woody scent. It's comparable to Clive Christian's V. I love it. Osmanthus, which is a little floral. Osmanthus, not one of my favorite notes, but it's a unique note nonetheless. Here we have Oud Shamash, which is part of that excessive line that I was telling you guys about. This one is done by Bertrand Duchaufour, and this is a beautiful, spicy, smoky, mildly incensey oud scent. It does have a little bit of sweetness in the back, could be due to an amber or some other resins, but I love this scent. This is honestly one of my favorites. I think it also has Nargamoda in it, which also goes by the name Cypriol oil, and that one has a smoky, almost herbal, aromatic nuance to it. Here we have De Bakhmakov, could be mispronouncing that. I believe this was made for, this is made by Jean-Claude Ellena's daughter, and I believe this was made for the Russian market. This is a great, great fragrance. Utilizes the note of shiso, which is also found in one of my other favorite fragrances by Tatliber d'Orange called Fille de Dieu du Riz et des Agrumes. And this one is like that, coriander, I think nutmeg, some other spices. It's just really well done with some bergamot. It's such a weird, unique scent, not for the faint of heart. Here we have Aurore Nomade, which is another fragrance that I actually smelled at a major department store. And this one is also done by Bertrand Duchaufour. This is one of my favorites of this entire line. I have to tell you, this is one of my favorite fragrances. It has the note of banana in there, which is a really weird note to smell in fragrances. I know some others. There's one line in particular, it's carried at Oswald, but I don't remember the name of the line. And they have a fragrance that contains ylang-ylang. And the ylang-ylang in that fragrance makes it smell like banana. And this one reminds me so much of that one. This is such a wonderful scent. Another weird scent, but it dries down to this ambery base that's pretty familiar. It's something that you've smelled before. This is one that I actually own. I've had this for a while now. Oriental Lounge, beautiful powdery amber. This one is Agate Cuir Narcotique. And this one is more of, I don't think it has leather. I don't smell leather. I smell spices. A little animalistic too. Great scent. And here we have my favorite. Definitely this, if Aurore Nomade is in second place, this is in first place. This is Oud for Love. And this was also made by Bertrand Duchaufour. And when I smell it, it actually does kind of remind me of Jubilation 25 and the way that they take the resins and the sweetness and a fruity component and the oud, and it has this sort of opulent, you know, regal feel to it. Wonderful, wonderful scent. So guys, thank you very much for tuning in. I just wanted to give you a very quick take on the fragrances from the different company. I hope this overview serves to assist many of my viewers who are looking into exploring different brands, and maybe you know your taste pretty well, and you know you're into fresh fragrances or woodsy fragrances or smoky fragrances. So this can be a sort of you know, informational video for you to better discern or assess which scents within the collection you might like. But this is what I thought about these fragrances. I think this is a fantastic company, excellent company, high quality ingredients, a lot of variety within their line, and I look forward to acquiring more fragrances from this collection. More specifically, Oud for Love and Aurore Nomade. Those two I absolutely love. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for being subscribed to my channel. Listen guys, if you own or have tried any of these scents, tell me, let me know. Leave a comment down below. Tell me, yes, I've tried so-and-so and this is what I think of it. Tell me where you bought it. Tell me when you've worn it. Tell me what you like about it. Or if there's one in here that you are looking forward to trying, tell me what it is. So guys, thank you for watching. That was my video. I'm not going to take up too much of your time. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Take care.